every eighth in interest rate where we go down unlocks a few more buyers. The flip side is it's going to create more competition.
And again, real estate is a supply and demand game. There's something called marginal demand. And you're absolutely right. Every quarter point pulls marginal demand off the sidelines, but it does not pull marginal supply. Alrighty, folks, over the last 7 days or so, you have seen me talk to Omar, Adrian, and Beth. We are now going to talk to Matt, the mortgage guy, because it is at least clear to me, if you are shopping below the median home price in your particular area or buy box, December is acting like February 2023. That is not normal. That is not supposed to happen. But when interest rates drop 100 basis points and you have a bunch of buyers who took a month off, it's exactly what we get. So, Matt, I don't know what you're seeing out there in Sacramento with your buyers, but it is becoming painfully clear to me. There have been homes on the market that were crickets at 8% that are getting activity at 7%. And this is a change, just like February 2023.
Yeah, and I'm hearing the story over and over again. I was trying to think of a way to combine December and February, like December, but it's the truth. And I pulled up real quick, the purchase index versus the 30-year fix, which I've looked at a lot because over the last couple of months, it's been so painfully obvious in the data. Rates come down, demand goes up. We all understand that. And you say it, and you see it in the graph, and then in my shoes, you live it in the streets. And so the conversation I continue to have, and I'm trying to educate people and prepare them and set proper expectations is, who you called me? You know who you got off the fence because rates went from 8 to 7? So did right? And we know it. Me and you know it. We've talked about it like
every day.
Every quarter, every eighth in interest rate where we go down unlocks a few more buyers. As those buyers come out, they've got to have the realistic expectation that goody gumdrops, lower interest rate. The flip side is it's going to create more competition. And so I've got buyers who are like, yes, I've been looking at this house. It's been on the market for 48 days. I'm going to go offer them this. And then true offers coming in, some people are like, that's BS. Don't tell me that after 48 days you have 3 offers. I'm talking to listing agents that are friends of mine. It's like, it's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle, right? This seller was like, holy God, are we gonna have to lower the price? And all of a sudden, rates at 7, unlocks demand, and you've got 3 offers, and you can send out a multiple counter to find out who's going to win. So it feels a lot more competitive than your average December for sure.
Well, I would ask people just to play this out logically. And again, real estate is a supply and demand game. When rates went to 8%, what happened to supply? Nothing really changed on the supply side. What happened to demand? Demand fell off. So active listings appeared to grow, not because there was net new listings, because new listings were trending below average, but because there were less buyers, it appeared to grow. Rates fell 100 basis points, and, oh, by the way, appear to be falling further. And what happened? Supply didn't change. New listings didn't really change. Demand changed. My first sign of this was 10 days ago when I spoke to Adrian Hernandez, one of my millionaires I speak to every week. He told me that on Friday he had a conversation with the seller about lowering a price $100,000. Again, he's in Orange County. It's a 7-figure market, so $100,000. And the seller was thinking about it over the weekend. They were scheduled to speak again Monday afternoon. And again, this property had no activity for more than 30 days. By Monday afternoon, they had 3 offers, all at list price, because rates fell. There's something called marginal demand. And you're absolutely right. Every quarter point pulls marginal demand off the sidelines, but it does not pull marginal supply. Marginal supply probably doesn't move until 5.5, 5.25, or 5. It doesn't get interesting until 4.5. But marginal supply doesn't show up at 7. Demand does. It's just wild to look at.
Yeah. And so I want to ask you a couple questions because this is an interesting thing to bounce back and forth. And I think it was Monday on my YouTube live. Shout out Matt the Mortgage Guy on YouTube to go check it out. If you're not subscribed, what the heck are you waiting for? But this is the question that people ask, and I think it's a phenomenal question.
Okay.
At what rate do we unlock supply? And my follow-up to that, Mike, was like, let's add some verbiage to that. Not at what rate do we unlock supply, at what rate do we unlock meaningful supply? Because at 6%, you'll get a few people off of the fence.
Marginal supply, yes.
The thing for me, which helps, kind of guide what I can predict, is actually doing the math. And I did a little exercise on my YouTube live on Monday where I said, let's play a scenario, an average scenario. Someone's got a $600,000 house. If they sell it, they can take $200,000 in equity and buy something for $800. 20% down plus closing costs, put a little money in the bank. And here's the thing: as people listen to this, think about what I'm saying. This isn't some humongous upgrade. This is from one neighborhood to the next, different school district, one extra bedroom, whatever it is. It's from 600 to 800. It's a small upgrade. But what is going on, and the math will show you why people aren't making that move, is that selling and leaving your $2,200 payment because you've got a 3.5% interest rate, and buying, even though you're throwing a 20% down payment, a big down payment, 160, your payment is going to go 2.5x. And
it's just not happening.
Right. And so it's 5,500. So what I did, Mike, is I told myself, if I'm that person, I go, holy crap, like I really want to go to that neighborhood, but like 2.5x is too much. And I've had to correct myself, Mike, and say, listen, some people will say yes to 2.5x, right? But I'm trying to unlock, more people or meaningful amount of supply. And if you get into the low 5s, that gets to a 2x or lower, which quite honestly, people have pay raises, people have families growing, they're going to save on daycare, moving closer to mom, so they can go 22 to 44. They can double, right? And some will.
Some, yeah.
Right. It's funny, Mike, as you shudder like that, like I've learned over this last year that like expectations are being reset. That $4,000 mortgage payment that used to be like, oh my God, I can't imagine it. More and more people are saying, listen, I made 280 last year. This is a great company. I see a great future. I'm going to save $1,500 on daycare costs because my mother-in-law's 2 blocks over in this new neighborhood. So like I've tried to shed some of my, preconceived notions or assumptions based on math, because I'm just a math nerdy and showed up a decade ago to say, hey, math and people, I like both those things. Let's do mortgage. So I think to answer the question, it's probably only going to unlock meaningful supply at the 5% mark and maybe even lower. What do you think if you had to pin a magic number to unlock?
4.5.
Okay.
4.5. I mean, again, I think a lot of people with rates below 4 realize they got once in a lifetime. But I also understand life happens, babies happen, job transfers happen. I think it's 4.5. I think 6 unlocks a little, 5.5 a little, 5 maybe, a little squared, but 4.5 is the number. I think most people can go 4.5 is good enough. Now, I don't even know if we get to 4.5, right? I could see 6. I could see 5 3/4. I don't think we get to 4.5, but if we did for some reason, you could get a lot of supply, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just plug it in the numbers because I like to see it. Even at 4.5, 800 to 20% down, taxes, insurance, because bigger house, bigger tax bill. That's still $4,200. That's still a 1.85x of the former payment, assuming it's a 20 or 21 purchase or refinance into that 3% rate. But You never know. You know, each individual scenario is different. That's why I talk to everybody that is a potential client of mine, because I want to unlock what are your goals, what are you looking to do, how can we serve you, and really might be off topic, but I think it's something worth talking about. It's not a good time to buy for everybody, and it's not a bad time to buy for everybody. That's something I keep hearing on both sides. It's always great to buy real estate. Wrong. It's a horrible time to buy because my Uncle John said so. Also wrong.
Right.
Everybody's going to have their unique scenario. And that's why if you want to connect with a mortgage broker who's going to shoot you straight, talk you through and figure out for yourself whether it's a good time to buy, go to greatmortgagebroker.com.
Folks, and if you didn't catch video number 1, if you have an FHA or VA loan, he has the ability to do 599 streamlines for FHA and VA loans. If you don't know what those are, go watch video number 1. Better yet, reach out to him and say, what the heck? Zuber's talking 599 streamline loans. Tell me more. Where do they go?
Greatmortgagebroker.com. Fill out that form and we'll help you pay for everything else in your life that's got more expensive over the last 12 months.
There you go. Thanks, buddy.